Right, welcome. And another one bites, and another one bites, and another one bites the dust. Right here on the ISBC Truth Channel. The ISBC Truth, the only place you're going to come to get the truth in news. We deliver you this news every day. There is nobody on YouTube more repetitive with this bringing you this news than ISBC Truth. So if you're new to this channel, you just stumble across this channel, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, and there's a bell right there next to it. Hit that bell and turn on all notification bells. Also hit that like button as you guys come in here. I'm your host, I'm your pastor, Mr. Michael Smith, and my co-host is no other than
Sister Smith, baby.
Sister Smith, baby. What do we have in the news this evening, Sister Smith?
YSL gang member convicted of deadly Buckhead wedding robbery. One of the men charged earlier this year, along with popular Atlanta rapper and alleged YSL gang leader, Young Thug.
Attention to all of you Negroes. Attention to all of you gang members. Attention to all you gang members. Attention to all you Negroes. If you can't afford a lawyer, if you can't afford to get bonded out, if you can't afford jail, please don't go there. That's real talk. You Negroes be committing these crimes, but yet when you get locked up, you got to get a legal aid lawyer, which is going to railroad you. You know what I'm saying? You reaching out to your quick family and kinfolks so that they can put money on your books. You know what I'm saying? And you reaching out to your family and kinfolk so they can put money on the phone. You know what I'm saying? You reaching out to your family and kinfolk so they can give you money for a bond. Why do that? You got yourself in the jam. So before you Negroes pick up a gun, before you Negroes think about rolling on ops, stealing, robbing, use your brain. If I do this, there is a chance that I'm going to get locked up. And if I get locked up, do I have enough money for a lawyer? Check one. Do I have enough money for bond? Check two. Do I have enough money to last me through the trials that I'm going to be going through for commissary and phone conversation? If you check no on all of them, then you know what you need to do? Stay your black ass at home. Real talk. You niggas need to stop committing these crimes because you can't afford it. It's too expensive in the chain gang or in the judicial system to be committing crimes, isn't it? Isn't it, Sister Smith?
Yes, it is.
Too expensive. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, it's even expensive when you get out on parole or probation. Because you got to pay to be on parole or probation.
And you got to walk a chalk line.
Exactly. And when you got that ankle monitor on, do you know you got to pay every month for that? So it's expensive to get locked up. Why are you trying so hard to do it when you can't afford it? Y'all Negroes need to wake up. Gangs is not the way. Gangs is not the way. And if black folks will look at it like that, you would have a lot of black folks that, you know what I'm saying, that refuse to commit crimes. Because they'd be like, wait a minute, Pastor Michael Smith got a point. It is expensive. You got to, you know what I'm saying, to retain a lawyer, it's 10 stacks off the rip. Yeah, they may give you a payment plan, but you still got to pay that 10 stacks. To get a good lawyer, I mean, you can get a BS lawyer. That lawyer is just like the legal aids. But to get a good lawyer, it's 10 stacks right off the rip just to retain them. If you can't afford them 10 stacks, if you can't afford 10% of a bond, because if you get locked up, you know what I'm saying, and you get a bond, you got to pay 10% of that bond. So if you can't afford 10% of the bond, or if you can't afford a lawyer, stay out of trouble. Get a job. Mow lawns. You know what I'm saying? Be a husband. How about that? How about that? That would be nice, wouldn't it, Sister Smith?
Yes, it would.
Go ahead.
For violating the RICO Act was convicted of murder on Thursday. Jayden Myrick, who goes by Settripp or J-Man, was found guilty.
J-Man or Settripp. The only thing is being said here is your sentence. The only thing is being said here is that judge setting your sentence. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's being said here. Go ahead.
J-Man was found guilty of robbery and murder outside a wedding venue in the Buckhead community on July 7, 2018. It happened at the Capital City Country Club in the historic Brookhaven neighborhood.
So this is what you gangbangers do? You young folks join a gang to steal? Because that's basically what all gangbangers are doing. Every time you turn around, all gangbangers are doing is robbing and stealing. You can steal by yourself. What you got to click up to steal for? You see this, Sister Smith?
Yeah.
You can rob and steal by yourself. I think it's a lot better if you rob and steal by yourself. You won't have no co-defendants. Yo, these Negroes is the retardedest people I ever seen. They click up and join gangs just to rob and steal. That's crazy. That's all gangbangers are, is a bunch of thieves. That's really what it is. All gangbangers are is a bunch of thieves, because that's all you do is rob and steal.
And kill.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Man charged with murder after wedding armed robbery in Buckhead. 4 people were waiting for a ride share service outside the venue following a wedding. Prosecutors say Maverick and co-defendant Taurus Fleetwood spotted them, believed they were easy target, and approached them at gunpoint. Maverick then demanded their belongings, including cell phones, wallets, and other valuables. Christian Border followed Maverick after the robbery, attempting to reason with him to get his license back. Instead, he was met with gunfire, striking Border in the stomach. Fleetwood would drive the pair away from the scene in a white Dodge Charger. Retired Atlanta Police Detective Brett Zimmerbrick was credited with the quick capture of the pair. Border, the general manager at popular DC restaurant Millie's, died just short of a week later from his injuries. Charged for Maverick were quickly upgraded to include murder. YSL gang member Mark family intimidates witnesses. Maverick, who was just 17 at the time of the murder, took the stand during his trial this week. He admitted to the court he mocked the family on a jail call and also attempted to intimidate witnesses.
He did what to the family?
He mocked. M-O-C-K-E-D.
Mock. So that's made fun of the family.
Sound like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what mocking means. Mocking and scoffing. So you killed these people's loved one. And on a jail call, you made fun of the fact that you did it. Now, on top of that, your thieving ass stole. You stole. You robbed. You stole. You are a thief. Because you stole. Instead of getting a job, you stole at gunpoint this man's belongings. And you stole this man's life. And the only thing you can do is mock and make fun of being a thief. Well, that's why you got sentenced. That's why you got sentenced. So he mocked on a jail phone call. And what else did he do?
Intimidated the witnesses.
And intimidated the witnesses. So I guess he was threatening the witnesses. Oh, if you do this, I'm going to do this. Sit your little 17-year-old ass down before that judge make change.
He did.
Sure enough did. Lord. Tell you what, you gangbangers ain't nothing but a bunch of thieves. You know what I'm saying? Thieves and drug addicts. Because that's what y'all doing. Y'all thieving just to get the money to do drugs. Weed is drugs, people. Go ahead.
A teen who was 15 at the time inside the getaway car told the court.
So the 15-year-old was driving.
Yeah.
You know, there's another charge that should be put on Young Thug. Endangering the welfare of children. Because most of the people that's up under YSL are kids. Child abuse, child neglect, endangering the welfare of children. That's another charge that Young Thug should be charged with. Go ahead.
Inside the getaway car told the court the pair, when they came back to the car, they were carrying purses and wallets. He said initially Maverick spotted Border and his friend and family outside the venue and stopped the car. Detective Zimmerbrick also testified. Eventually, Maverick was convicted by a jury of 16 counts, including violation of street gang, terrorism and prevention, malice murder, felony murder, armed robbery, criminal attempt to commit armed robbery, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and possession of a firearm by a first offender.
I'm sorry, but that's a lot of stuff, and that's a whole lot of stuff. It's a whole lot of stuff. That's going to equal out to a whole lot of time. By the time he get out of jail, he's 17 now. By the time he get out of jail, he be damn near 30, 40-something years old.
Yeah.
And if he's 30 and 40-something years old when he got out of jail and he's still gangbanging, he needs a hole in his head. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And now, this 17-year-old boy comes to, where's his lawyer? He probably had a legal aid lawyer. I bet you he ain't no paid lawyer. Bet you he didn't have no paid lawyer. You know why I say he didn't have no paid lawyer? Because if he did, he wouldn't have had to rob and steal to even get money.
Yeah.
He's robbing and stealing to get money. So therefore, he's locked up. Do you think he got money? No. He got a legal aid lawyer. That's why he got railroad. Congratulations. And this is for all you Negroes who wants to gang bang and do thugged, rugged shit. If you can't afford jail, stay out of it. You can't afford it. Because if you can't afford jail and you go in it, be on the lookout for the judge to hand you a whole gang of time. You want a gang bang? Well, the judge gonna give you a whole gang of time. Go ahead.
Probationary to-date verdict from the jury and the sentence imposed was a clear message that the city belongs to the citizens of Fulton County and not to the gang, said Deputy District Attorney Chris Springer. A full county superior court judge sentenced Myrick to life without parole. Following these three consecutive life sentences, followed by a consecutive 5 years. I am praying for Mr. Border's family and friends as they grieve the loss of.
Wait a minute, hold on. They done went up in this 17-year-old boy with no grease. They gave him consecutive life sentences, and then they added on a cherry on top. They added an additional 5 years on top of that consecutive life.
Right.
He went up in that 17-year-old boy with no grease. Sue woo that. Hey, after that judge done gave him his time, I bet you he was like, hey, listen, I denounced my flag. I put my flag down. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Officer, people put me in protective custody because I am not with this gang stuff no more. Consecutive life sentences and 5 years on top of that. Lord, you ain't getting out. You know what I'm saying? And this should be made an example of to all of you other little Negroes out there. Listen, if you can't afford jail, stay the hell out of it. Because this 17-year-old obviously couldn't afford it. That's why he got railroad. You know what I'm saying? He went up the creek without a paddle. You know what I'm saying? He's on his way to, as what Eddie Murphy said in the movie Life, the upper room. He's next up to bat. He up the river without a battle. Go ahead.
Grieve the loss of a beloved husband, father, and brother. It is unconditional that a 34-year-old man who has his whole life ahead of him was murdered in such a senseless act of violence. As the defendant's testimony illustrates, when young people are recruited into gangs and the violent crimes, they commit conflict tragedy on their victims and on themselves. When they end up in prison, said Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis, YSL gang member said he was groomed as a boy. Maverick prior bad acts were allowed as part of the case. He told the court he was groomed and then recruited by an adult gang member when he was 9 years old. when he was 14 years old, he was arrested for holding up a woman on the south side of Atlanta.
Stealing again. He was arrested for stealing again.
Yeah.
So the big homies recruit the children to be little thieves.
Yeah.
And then as they get older, they become big thieves. And then when you are a veteran thief, you become the big homie and you would have little thieves up under you. So this is a thief organization.
Yeah.
Lord. The moral of this story is keep your hands off of other people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's the moral of this story is get a job, pay for your own stuff, and live your life. Go ahead.
The boy agreed to a negotiated plea and was sentenced to 15 years with 7 to serve in the adult system. Mm-hmm. However, Maverick's attorney made a request to get out of detention with time served. The judge agreed and ordered him probation. Administered.
So one got probation and the other one got 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
By private counseling program. A supervisor of the nonprofit division program called Vision Unlimited video showed Maverick cracking concrete with a sledgehammer in the backyard of a renovated home in southwest Atlanta. A spokesperson for the program said Maverick was struggling to learn construction at that renovated home. He lasts only 2 weeks on the job site before the nonprofit decided he would be better off just going to school each day. Program advisor said he never mouthed off, was always respectful, and was on track to get his GED. He also never missed a day right up.
So you mean to tell me these little kids, they can pull drive-bys, they can pull a gun out on somebody and take their stuff, but they can't work?
No.
They can't work, but they can work on getting locked up.
Right.
Listen, they can work. You know what I'm saying? They can work. They don't want to work. They don't want to work. Oh, this is too hard. It's too... No, it's not. It's not. You can work. Stop being a thief. All you gangbangers, stop being thieves. Stop stealing people's stuff. Because that's all you gangbangers are, is thieves. You click up just to steal. There's some crazy stuff. They click up into a gang just to steal. Bunch of thieves. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Convicted murderer part of YSL gang RICO indictment. In May, Maverick was listed among 28 defendants in an 88-page indictment that claimed he is part of the young slime life. Indictment alleged Jeffrey Lamar Williams, who goes by the stage name Young Thug, is one of the leaders of the gang. It states that among other...
How much more is on that, Sister Smith?
Huh?
How much more is on that?
It's a lot.
Okay, yeah, that's it for that. You know what I'm saying? We want to thank you all for tuning in, logging on to another episode, another edition of ISBC Truth Channel. That's ISBC Truth right here on ISBC on YouTube. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell next to that subscribe button. Turn on your notification, all notifications. And as well as hit that like button while you're here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I'm your host. I'm your pastor, Mr. Michael Smith. And my co-host is...
Sister Smith, baby.
Hey. To the next one.